Hi there, I'm Christiana Ellis. This video is really just a experiment to test this format, this equipment for doing YouTube videos, and to just try to get everything figured out, because I think I'm going to start doing a little bit more video on a regular basis. Just as an experiment, maybe take one of my audio podcasts and make it more into a Google Hangout video type podcast, have YouTube involved, and just seeing what I can do with this format, given that I know a lot of people have a lot of fun with it. I'll be honest right up front, I actually don't watch a lot of YouTube videos. I tend to listen more to audio podcasts just because when I'm at work I can have my headphones in, but I can't really be watching YouTube. And so in some ways I think that I have missed a little bit that there is a lot of YouTube content growing out there, and a lot of people are finding all sorts of entertainment and fun in making and watching and sharing YouTube videos. And so I am interested in, dipping my toes into that water, so to speak. Note me doing finger gesture to represent toes in this context of this particular analogy. You probably didn't need that explained to you, nor did I need to continue doing the gesture. But anyway, so this video, like I said, is really going to just be me rambling a little bit, but I think one of the ideas that I definitely have for videos moving forward is to just do sort of a every so often rambly sort of little 15 minutes with Christiana Ellis sort of thing, where I'll just talk about whatever's on my mind. One of the other ideas that I have is to do an episode-by-episode rewatch of Avatar: The Last Airbender. I actually started doing a blog post rewatch of that a while back, and I was having fun with it, but I think I got a little over-ambitious with how involved I was making the blog posts. I was getting lots of screen captures and stuff and putting them into the blog post, and I think that resulted... Whoops, I'm bumping the microphone. I think that resulted in the blog posts being enough work that I procrastinated on them and then just kind of fell off of doing it altogether. But something where maybe I watch the episode and take some notes, but then just speak for about 15 minutes or so on the episode, or, maybe more or less, depending on whether I feel like I have more to say on that particular episode. So that's one of the types of videos that I'm thinking of doing some of. And one of the other things that I'm thinking about doing, and in fact I'm, proactively planning to do this, is for this season of my podcast Talking About Survivor that I do with Mike Mayteen. That's been an audio podcast that we've been doing since 2006. Wow, that's scary. And that's always just been an audio podcast, but now Google is making so many really helpful tools like the Hangouts and being able to maybe have a live video conference type podcast, which then can be saved in both the video form and also in audio format. So anyone who just still wants to listen to the audio can do that, but then there will also be these additional options available. So that's kind of what I'm thinking I have in mind. So as far as this video, what else might I talk about tonight? Well, I don't know. One of the things I'm doing right now is I'm taking an improv class at the local Improv Boston place that does, as a stage. They do lots of improv and comedy shows, and they teach classes, of course. And it's one of the things that I wanted to do it for a long time, and I was procrastinating it, and I didn't have any especially good reason why I should procrastinate, because I knew I would have fun, and so yet I just never kind of made it happen until recently. I made it happen, and it's so fun! Who would have thought, right? Anyway, I feel like it's really exciting because I do have some experience doing live theater, although it's been a while. I have my various podcasts, both the nonfiction and the fiction ones, and so I'm used to some level of performance aspect to it. But really, all of that stuff tends to either be just conversational or it's scripted. So the idea of doing sort of a performance aspect where it's unscripted, and also the additional interaction with all of the other people in the class, it's really great. I'm enjoying it a great deal. There's a reason that they call the various things that you do in improv games, because there's a real sense of play to it that I'm enjoying quite a bit. I'm also finding that I get along with everyone in the class really well, and it feels like a strong class. You know, we've kind of, I think, bonded as a class more quickly than I would have anticipated. So that's a lot of fun, and actually several of us in this particular session, I'm taking Improv 101 because, you know, that's where you start. But we've already, some of us in the class have signed up to me in the same session of 201, and so that's going to be fun to progress in that. So the other thing that I'm thinking about recently right now is that my current apartment here in Boston is a little pricey. When I first moved up here, it was something where my work was sort of helping me out a little bit with relocation expenses. But then, you know, I was here long enough and some of that kind of had to stop. So I'm looking for a place that's a little cheaper. I'm not asking for specific suggestions, but it's certainly on my mind. One of the things that I have to make sure of is that the place will allow dogs, because, of course, I have a dog. So allowing dogs and then having some place nearby to walk her is a priority. I think I would also like to be on the red line instead of the green line. That's something that, you know, people who don't actually live in the Boston-Cambridge area are not going to care about very much. So I think, as far as rambling, you know, one of the other things maybe I'll talk about is that I just read an announcement that Arrow Season 2, which was going to be coming to Netflix on Sunday, they've just now announced that it's going to be delayed until October to coincide exactly with the premiere of Season 3, which I know is, I guess, typically how they do it, but that just makes no sense to me. Why on earth would they time it that way? Because for someone like me, see, I haven't been watching the show live. But after Season 2 finished, so many of my friends recommended the show to me that I'm thinking, sure, why not? I'll catch up. And I watched all through Season 1, liked it a lot. Ready to watch Season 2? Nope, not available. And so when will it be available? Not until Season 3 will actually be coming out. They are preventing me from having any means, short of piracy, of catching up before the actual Season 3 premieres. Now, I'm not going to be overly judgmental of other people who do various BitTorrent or piracy or whatever. It's not something that I do personally. I try to avoid that. And so I'm going to hold off, but what that just means is that I'm going to have to just set my DVR to start recording Arrow Season 3, and I'll have to just store them up on my DVR until I can catch up by watching through Season 2. Or alternately, if I'm watching through Season 2 and feeling like I don't like it anymore, then I'll stop, and then I can delete all of those saved Season 3 ones. Because there's a lot of comic book TV shows coming to the TV right now, you know, TV shows coming to the TV. I mean, because Gotham is starting, and Constantine is starting. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. will be coming back. I know that the new Netflix shows are still a little while off, but I'm looking forward to those when they come. It's kind of exciting to have so many comic book properties coming to mainstream entertainment options these days. Guardians of the Galaxy was a particular delight to me, not only just because I really liked it, which I did, but because it did well at the box office, too. I feel like I'm kind of used to when a movie comes out and it feels in a way like it was made just for me and I really like it. Lots of times those movies don't do very well. Or maybe they have sort of a subset of people that are really passionate about them, but overall they're not money makers, and that's disheartening. But Guardians of the Galaxy falls into that category. I absolutely loved it. But it's also doing really well at the box office, which makes me feel good, because maybe they will make more movies like that, which would make me happy. Anyway, I think that's probably all that I've got for the moment, especially since this video is really only intended to be an experiment to play around with the recording setup and uploading and all of that. But, if you do watch this and you have opinions about anything that I said, let me know those opinions. And Maybe I'll talk about them in a future video. All right, that's it for now. I'm Christiana Ellis. You can find all of my stuff at christianaellis.com. Bye.